Isaac is back once again in Dead Space 3, and believe it or not, there's been yet another necromorph uprising. Those things just will not stay dead. The game features a new weapon crafting system, and for the first time, a co-op mode that will allow friends to face the horror together. So, will the necromorph still scare you bad enough to need a change of pants, or is this a case of been there, dismembered that? Let's find out. Apparently in the newest game, the EarthGov army has been stomped by our old friends the Unitologists, who believe that becoming necromorphs is the destiny of mankind. It's a religion that is only slightly less crazy than Scientology, and it's hard to believe they attracted enough followers to overthrow Earth's government. But I don't know, maybe they were giving away free puppies to anyone who joined or something. Anyway, the Unitologists managed to set free a bunch of test markers that the Earth was building for some reason, so Isaac and the last two EarthGov guys have to travel to some distant planet to cut off the source of the marker's power. And I won't go into any further detail about the plot because it really only gets more ridiculous from there. Anyway, moving on to gameplay, it's pretty much what you remember, except now there's a cover system that's pretty unnecessary, as the human opponents you'll face aren't bright enough to pose any real threat, and as far as necromorphs go, you don't really want to be in cover when these things are chasing you. And since it's Dead Space, if there's necromorphs in front of you, it probably means there's necromorphs behind you as well. There's also a new combat roll ability, and of course you have your trusty stasis and kinesis. You're now limited to 2 weapons, which I think was an excellent move, as it makes you think much more carefully about what you want to bring with you, and makes the new weapon crafting system that much more essential. You see, each of the weapons you carry can actually be 2 weapons, so you could put a line gun on a sniper rifle or a shotgun on a rocket launcher. The combinations are endless, and you can upgrade damage, clip size, and other attributes using chips. It's a really great system. Unfortunately, I suck at crafting weapons, and usually end up making the worst, most ineffective weapon imaginable. But hey, that's my fault, not the game's. I did, however, get it right once when I made a combination rocket launcher and shotgun that had an attachment that stopped me from taking splash damage. Man, I love that thing. One of the things I really enjoyed about Dead Space 3 was the amount of exploring that the game allows. It's way less linear than previous games. There are sections where you can fly around destroyed spaceships, optional missions that take you into areas that you won't see at all if you just follow the regular storyline, and there are little hidden areas that are extremely rewarding to find. As far as the co-op campaign goes, it's okay. Blasting necromorphs with a partner is fun, but I really don't think it's worth losing that scared and alone atmosphere that the game tries to create. And I recommend playing through solo and saving the co-op for your second playthrough. Let's talk about atmosphere. Personally, I wasn't as creeped out by this game as Dead Space 2. There wasn't anything nearly as unnerving as the nursery section from the last game, and some of the scares feel a bit recycled. However, I did really enjoy going down to Ta Volantis, as it was a necessary change of pace from previous games, and the planet's harsh, unforgiving weather added to that feeling that everything was out to kill you. The graphics are stellar, and the sound design is just as awesome as the previous Dead Space games. Limbs come off with a sickening crunch, and the sound of necromorphs being crushed underfoot is extremely visceral. Now, as great as the game looked and sounded, there were a few rough edges. I did encounter a glitch or two, but nothing game-breaking, and there was one extremely hilarious one that I have to show you. It did happen during a cutscene, so I have to throw a spoiler warning on this. If you want to skip past it, go ahead and click here. I'll give you a second. Alright, now here's how the scene is supposed to look. Isaac tackles the bad guy and saves the day. Unfortunately, it didn't go so smoothly on my first run, as Isaac was blown in half during the cutscene. Awesomely though, his lower half still manages to make the tackle and also somehow sever this guy's arm. Personally, I think Isaac's lower half should get its own game. I'm impressed at how heroic it is despite not having any arms or a head. I could even see crossovers and maybe even a movie in the future. Alright, so let's go over the pros and cons one more time. On the con side, this game doesn't feel as creepy as the last one. The story needed a little work, and some parts feel recycled. On the pro side, we've got the ability to explore more, weapon crafting, and excellent graphics and sound design. The pros definitely outweigh the cons in this one. Dead Space is evolving, and it's doing so without losing what made the last 2 games fun. I give Dead Space 3 9 severed Isaacs out of 10. Thanks for watching, and be sure to tell us what you thought of the game in the comments below. We'll see you guys next time.